Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for another interesting review and another Oberpfälzisches Helles. This one is from Brauerei Goss, located in the town Deuerling in Oberpfalz, the southern Oberpfalz. And it's a small old brewery, that's what I'm interested in, small old Bavarian breweries. So this one is of course very important to have on the channel. And it's the first time that I'm having a beer from this brewery, Brauerei Goss. So it's gonna be really interesting, of course, high expectations also. I'm choosing the Hellas from this brewery because I think it's the most sold one. It's of course always a much popular beer style. So I think it's a fair choice to have from this brewery. Coming in this so-called Euro bottle shape, the thick bottle shape, which fits so nice in the hand. Very popular bottle shape from the small breweries like this one in the area. Front label looking like this, Gossbräu Hell. Here is the top label, here is the crown cap, here is no back label, but you can see the look of the label looking real nice. I love the color combination with black, yellow and red on this Gossbräu. And it's the Hellas, as you can see. Here is the look of the brewery also. I really like when it's a look of the brewery on the label, and there's of course the coat of arms also of this brewery. But I'm gonna give you the information on this label later on in the review. Let's start with open up the bottle of this Brauerei Goss from Deuerling in Oberpfalz. And of course pour it up into the further versatile well-fitting glass. Always important to use the right type of a glass for the beer style that you're enjoying. In this case I think this glass fits really nice with most Bavarian beer styles actually. Good bottle right here meanwhile, and we wait for the foam to sink down. Real beautiful foam in my opinion, and beautiful look of the beer also. As you can see, very thick, I think 2-finger wide foam crown just where it should be, and nice pale color of this Hellas also. Very nice foam crown in this case, which also is important to build up during the pouring because it unleashes the right aromas from the beer. So build up a foam head, keep it all the way through while you drink because it locks the right taste in the glass. Let's get the aroma, which is fantastic actually, very fresh and nice. This is something really special in my opinion, something very much taste of this. Yeah, something really above the normal. Let's pour up the rest. Like that. There we have it all into the glass, of course, with the foam head rising up above the edge of the glass, far above the edge of the glass, just the way it should be. That's looking very nice. Put the bottle right here. And take a look at this foam head. Doesn't this look fantastic? Just the way it should be on a Hellas. So let's give it a try. The Brauerei Goss Deuerling Hell from Oberpfalz. Prost. Yeah, this is extremely tasty. I've been tasting many beers, but this is definitely something very special. It really has a fantastic taste in my opinion. So this is a big recommendation. I really hope that you're gonna visit the brewery's website in the description box below, because there you can read more about the brewery, take a look at the other beer styles from this brewery and so on. This Hellas is something very special. Nice taste of it. I really understand why it's very appreciated also in Oberpfalz, even though it's a small brewery of course. But it has been surviving, and that defines that it's really great. I'm gonna give you the information that I'm having about my book, about my beers and the breweries in my books. For example, this book by Marcus Raupach, here you can see Brauerei Goss, where it's located in the southern Oberpfalz. And yeah, typical look of this brewery, Brauerei Goss. As you can see, information: Goss Hell is the recommendation with 4.9% volume. Brauerei Goss, 1877. Josef Goss is the owner. Deuerling, Oberpfalz, Regensburger Straße, 16, 93180 Deuerling. Brauerei Goss, Gossbräu Deuerling. Brauerei Gasthof Goss. Yeah, that's information on that. From that book. Let's take another look at the label once again. I can't show it too many times because it looks that nice in my opinion. Gossbräu. Zutaten: Brauwasser, Gerstenmalz, Hopfen, alcohol content 5.0% volume. Hell, Brauerei Goss. 93180 Deuerling. Gewalt nach dem bayerischen Reinheitsgebot, Originalabfüllung. And I'm going to give you some information also from this brewer's website about the history of this brewery. The history of the Goss Deuerling brewery. The art of brewing in Bavaria is a part of the culture that comes into play from the poor cottager to the reception of the state government. In our administrative community based in Laber, there were once several breweries that strictly followed the purity law. The Bavarian Duke Wilhelm IV decreed it in April 1516 and stipulated that only barley, carbonate, dried and roasted as malt, hops and water may be used for brewing. Deuerling, a Palatinate village in the Laber Care Authority, was not a Hofmark, so there was no old brewing right, although a tavern had been set up in the 16th century, a forerunner of today's Goss brewery restaurant. At that time, the only right to brew was Paul Meisinger's copper hammer for personal consumption. Tavern Wirt Wolfgang Salzhuber fought the right to brew for almost 20 years. In 1844, his first application was received by the district court of Hemau. He promised to employ a master brewer provided the evidence of the corresponding beer cellars, whereby 1,000 buckets, 600 hectoliters of beer could be stored in the summer cellar on the Kirchberg alone, and spoke for Deuerling's large beer requirements. The neighboring breweries countered that there were enough breweries to supply Deuerling. In fact, today's standards, there were an incredible number of companies. Eichhofen, Schönhofen, Eilusbrunn, Ettertshausen, Laber had 2, Hochen-Schambach, Hemau had 6, Painten had 3. In 1862, after a new trade regulation for Bavaria came into force, Wolfgang Salzhuber submitted a new application. His arguments: there is still no brewery in Deuerling. The main road from Regensburg to Nuremberg runs through the village. There are 3 inns in the village, which needs 1,500 to 1,600 buckets of beer a year. There is a glass loop and a whale nail factory. Barley and hops can be grown in the farm's own fields. He finally got the concession from the Hemau district office to build a brewery, which he built next to his restaurant 1863. 3 functional areas can be read. In the east of the brewhouse, then the malt floor and the fermenting cellar. In the west, storage vaults. There were 2 storage cellars under the inn, plus the already mentioned summer cellar in the Kirchberg, and 1863 another beer cellar behind the brewhouse, which still exists today. In 1877, Josef and Maria Goss from Podshausen bought the inn and the brewery. The business had remained in the family ever since. 1889, Matthias Goss, Franziska Goss, Matthias Goss, Josef Goss with his wife Maria, and since then his son Josef Goss with his wife Gabrielle. With great commitment, House Goss continually meets the current requirements and expand the wide range of drinks, which can be also delivered to your home. That sounds great, of course, but I think that's it for now. Hope luck, Marius, and see you again in next Bavarian Beer Review.